Hello and welcome to my DIY today. It's still pumpkin month. It's Thanksgiving, and I've got a no-bake, and I've got a turtle pumpkin pie no-bake. Okay, so let me show you what you need for that. Let's get started. Okay, first of all, you can get a no-bake pie crust. I'm using the graham cracker crust. I'll post a video here of making it ahead of time and then freezing it. I just got it out of the freezer. This is the graham cracker crust. Have it nice and cold, and or you can do, I also in the freezer have flour crust, and you have to bake that ahead of time because this is a no bake. Okay, let me show you what you need. Put on your cookie sheet a half a cup of walnuts and pecans mixed, and we're going to roast those in the oven 350 degrees for 8 minutes. Okay, and you will need pumpkin puree, chocolate chips, 2 large eggs, we already got the pie shell, some cinnamon, and evaporated milk, but I'm using coconut milk instead, and nutmeg. While we are waiting for the nuts to roast, get you a cooking pot out, and we're going to mix these ingredients in here. Put in your 2 eggs, and we're going to whisk everything together here. 1 can of evaporated milk, but I'm using coconut milk because I don't have any evaporated, and this will taste better anyway. Okay, whip that in. 2 cups of pumpkin puree. Hooray for the puree. You can use some you made yourself or just get the canned. Mix that in. 3 tablespoons of cream. And I already whipped this up, so I'll just put in 4 tablespoons of cream. Whip that in. The nuts are done cooking, so take them out of the oven and let them cool. Okay, 3/4 cup of sugar. Stir that in. And 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use flour. And when you use flour, you have to add 1 more tablespoon. Like if there's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, you need to do 3 tablespoons of flour. Whisk that in. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And a pinch of nutmeg. Just a little teeny bit of nutmeg. Okay. Stir that in. Okay, turn your stove on. We're going to cook this. Cook it till it's bubbly. About 5 minutes. Take your chocolate chips, 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. Put them in the bottom. And then 1/2 cup of roasted chopped nuts. Put them in the bottom here. Okay. And those just sit and wait. They can wait here for the stuff to put over the top. Okay. Okay, this is starting to heat up. Stir it constantly so it doesn't burn. About ready to start bubbling. Smells good. It's going to thicken. It's starting to bubble, so I turned off the unit and used the leftover heat. If you have a gas stove, it shuts right off, but electric stove, you can use the leftover heat to kind of finish. See, it's getting thick. See the bubbling? Just let it thicken. Well, we've turned the unit off, it will not burn. Okay, and then over here we have the chocolate chips and the nuts. And you can, this is optional, you can put in caramel that you have melted, caramel squares, but I do not want that. I don't like the caramel. But some people like that, but so that one is optional. Okay, once this has thickened up, I think I said at the beginning of the video, for 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, you need 2 tablespoons of flour. So that's the substitute. Okay, it's nice and thick. Pour it over our graham cracker crust. Now we're just going to put it in the fridge 4 hours. That's pretty full. Okay, let's put that in the fridge. As you can see, that is pretty full. So I'm going to get another pie crust out. I'm going to bake this one for 12 minutes and put the rest of the filling in. I'll just put some chocolate chips and nuts in there. This was also a pie shell that I made ahead of time, and you just get it out of the freezer. So I can use this because I have so much of this pie mixture left over. So all I need is to cook that pie crust, roast up some more. These are walnuts. I ran out of pecans. I'll get a half a cup of chocolate chips. I also have some leftover pumpkin that I can use later. Just date it and put it in the freezer and use it some other time. Make sure you label it so you know what it is. And it's only good in the fridge for 3 days, so freezing it is your better option. Also, when you cook just a pie shell, you need to poke holes in it so you don't get bubbles. And I did not poke holes before I put it in the freezer because I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Okay, the timer went off for the pie. Let's get that out. Now we're going to let that cool off. The pie shell is cooled off. Put chocolate chips in, the roasted nuts, the rest of the pumpkin mix. Enough for 2 pies. Awesome. It's amazing how much we got 2 pies out of that. Pretty good deal. Okay, let's put it in the fridge. Okay, and I'll let those pies cool off in the fridge, and then I will freeze them. I'll put some saran wrap over them and freeze them for Thanksgiving for later. Gator. Okay, it is the next day, and I've covered these with saran wrap. We're gonna put these in the freezer. Make sure you write on there what it is. No cook. You just eat it. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and remember to look for my DIYs every Friday at 2. Thank you and good night. Happy Thanksgiving.